Before this video ends, you're probably going to realize something uncomfortable. Your phone habits are not random. The way you scroll, how fast you reply, why you check your screen for no reason, why you stay up too late staring at videos you don't even care about. All of it says something about you. In fact, psychologists say the little things you do on your phone can reveal your anxiety level, your need for validation, your attention span, even the parts of your personality you don't notice yourself. So here's the question. Are you using your phone, or is your phone exposing you? Most people think a phone is just a device. But it's more than that. It's a diary, a comfort zone, a distraction machine, a coping mechanism, and for some people, almost an extension of their personality. And today, we're breaking down what your phone habits secretly reveal about who you really are. Some of these will feel accurate. Some might feel a little too accurate. Let's start with something almost everybody does. You pick up your phone. Unlock it. Open one app. Close it. Open another. And somehow forget why you picked it up in the first place. That's not just boredom. That habit often comes from what psychologists call intermittent reward. Your brain has learned that every time you check your phone, there might be something rewarding waiting for you. A message. A like. A notification. A new post. Something exciting. Something that makes you feel seen. And because the reward is unpredictable, your brain keeps coming back. That means if you check your phone constantly, it may reveal that your brain has become trained to chase tiny moments of stimulation. But deeper than that, it can also point to something emotional. Maybe you hate silence. Maybe your mind feels restless when there's nothing happening. Maybe being alone with your thoughts feels harder than staying distracted. So when you say, "I'm just checking my phone," sometimes what you really mean is, "I don't want to sit with my own mind right now." And that's where it starts getting personal. But that's nothing compared to what your texting habits reveal. How quickly you reply to messages says a lot more about you than you think. If you reply almost instantly, every time, it can mean a few different things. Maybe you're highly attentive and emotionally available. But it can also suggest something else. You may feel pressure to respond quickly because you don't want people to feel ignored. You don't want tension. You don't want misunderstandings. You don't want to disappoint anyone. In other words, fast repliers are often not just nice. Sometimes they're people-pleasing. Now on the other side. If you take forever to reply, that doesn't always mean you're cold or careless. Sometimes slow repliers are protecting their energy. They may value independence. They may dislike feeling emotionally cornered. They may need space before engaging. But in some cases, delayed replies can also come from avoidance. Avoiding difficult conversations. Avoiding emotional responsibility. Avoiding the pressure of being constantly available. So whether you reply in 10 seconds or 10 hours, your texting style may be revealing your relationship with closeness, pressure, and emotional boundaries. Your messages don't just send words. They send patterns. And the next habit might be the one exposing people the most. Your social media behavior. There are two main types of people on social media. The people who post. And the people who watch. If you post often, selfies, updates, stories, thoughts, random moments, this can reflect confidence, openness, and self-expression. But psychologically, it can also be tied to something deeper. A desire to be acknowledged. To be noticed. To feel relevant. To feel like your life matters enough to be seen. And honestly, that's more common than people admit. Now if you rarely post and mostly scroll, that says something too. You may be more private. More observant. More internally focused. But passive scrolling also has a darker side. Because when you consume everyone else's highlights without sharing anything yourself, you can slowly start comparing your real life to everyone else's edited version of reality. And that comparison changes you. It affects your mood, your self-image, your confidence, even your sense of progress in life. So ask yourself, when you open social media, are you expressing yourself? Or measuring yourself against other people? Because those are two very different habits. And they come from two very different states of mind. Now let's talk about the habit that quietly destroys millions of people every night. You know that moment when you're exhausted. You know you should sleep. You even tell yourself, just 5 more minutes. And then suddenly it's 1:47 a.m. That habit has a name. It's often called revenge bedtime procrastination. And it happens when people feel like they had no real freedom during the day. Maybe you were stressed, busy, drained, working, dealing with people, handling responsibilities non-stop. So late at night, your brain says, this is finally my time. Even if you're tired, you keep scrolling because it feels like the only part of the day that belongs to you. That means late-night phone use isn't always about poor discipline. Sometimes it's about emotional compensation. You're not just avoiding sleep. You're trying to reclaim control. And that's why it feels so hard to stop. Because you're not fighting a screen. You're fighting the feeling that the day gave you nothing for yourself. But one of the biggest personality clues is hidden in something even smaller. Your notifications. Look at your phone right now. Do notifications own you? Or did you silence them a long time ago? If you keep every notification on, messages, likes, app updates, random alerts, it may mean you're highly stimulation-driven. Your brain likes activity. Updates. Movement. Possibility. You may also fear missing something important. Missing news. Missing attention. Missing connection. Missing the moment everyone else seems to be part of. But if you've muted almost everything, that reveals something powerful too. It suggests you protect your peace. You don't want constant interruption. You don't want your attention hijacked. You want control over when the world gets access to you. And that might sound like a small choice. But it reflects a major psychological difference. Some people live reactively. Other people live intentionally. And your notification bar can reveal which one you are. Here's the part most people don't realize. Your phone is not just showing your habits. It's reinforcing them. If you're anxious, your phone can make you more anxious. If you seek validation, your phone can train you to depend on it more. If you avoid discomfort, your phone gives you endless ways to escape it. That's why this matters. Because every tap, every swipe, every mindless check is not just a behavior. It's repetition. And repetition becomes identity. So if your phone habits reveal who you are, they also reveal who you're becoming. That's the scary part. But it's also the empowering part. Because once you notice the pattern, you can change it. So the next time you reach for your phone, pause for 1 second and ask yourself, what am I actually looking for right now? A distraction? Comfort? Validation? Connection? Escape? Because the answer might tell you more about yourself than your screen ever will. If this video hit a little too close to home, subscribe for more psychology videos. And in the comments, tell me this. What's one phone habit you know is changing you?